Hi, my name's Mark, and you're watching Half Dice Will Travel, and we're playing Waterdeep Dragon Heist.
Okay, so we're good. Whenever.
Let me grab the big book of plots.
Ominous.
Dun, 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 dun. Well, the most ominous thing is everything that I wrote in red, because that's all kinds of shit that I really need to let happen for your plot line, which is a lot. Like, in comparison, this is what Mark and Core got together. One little square. Yours, however, has all kinds of sentences written through sentences. Okay, let's start. So you wake up in the City of the Dead. It is, as you remember, not a drab cemetery. It is a great park of grassy hills, tended flower beds, artfully placed clusters of trees and bushes, beautiful sculptures, astounding architecture, and gravel paths that wind intriguingly through pretty much everything. One of the cemetery's most impressive attractions is the Warrior's Monument. It's an intricate 60-foot-high sculpture that depicts a circle of women and men striking down trolls, orcs, hobgoblins, bugbears, barbarians, all of which are falling backwards and outward around the warriors. Above all of them, there's a flying griffin rider, who spears a skeletal knight whose breastplate bears the symbol of Mirkul, the god of the dead. The statue is also a fountain, and the wounds in all the combatants gush with water, and it just pours down into the fountain. The only thing that stands out for you, other than what you remember the City of the Dead to be, is that all the mausoleums around you lack doors. Everything's made out of solid stones, except for one in the far distance. And in front of it lies a body. What do you do?
How far is it?
Roughly 200 feet.
I guess I will walk a bit closer to it.
Okay. As you start walking, you realize that there is a different perception and sense of time. As you stepped 2 or 3 steps, all of a sudden you're right in front of the corpse.
Oh. It's definitely dead.
You don't know. It's laying there on its side with its back towards you.
I take a closer look to try to see if it's dead or if it needs help.
Okay. Make me an investigation check.
Wait, so that means I should have my character sheet open.
That is one of the prerequisites to play D&D.
17. Oh, I rolled that to myself, didn't I? That's okay. I'll do it again. 16.
Okay. So as you start pulling on the shoulder of the corpse, it rolls on his back, and you immediately recognize that it is Nal, the assassin who rescued you as a child. And he is, above certainty, absolutely dead, as his heart is now a cavity which holds no organs at all.
Oh, shit. Does he look newly dead? Or has he, been dead for a while?
You reckon that he's been dead for a while.
I get closer to him and I lay down on the ground and I just put my arm around him And it's like I want to cry, but I can't. I just feel like there's something missing now.
Make me a perception check.
7.
From inside the mausoleum, the only mausoleum that has a solid door, you hear a faint thumping sound, almost resembling a heartbeat.
I get up and walk closer to the door, sort of watching Null's body as I go.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I don't really
He's-
want to turn my back on it.
Still laying there lifeless.
No, sure. She just does. I don't want to turn my back to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I go to the door and I try to listen.
Every step that you take towards the door, the thumping sound starts to resemble a heartbeat more and more. Tudum, 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 tudum.
I try to open the door.
Okay. 2 large iron-bound doors swing open with ease, as if it didn't even take any strength at all to open them. And you see a large tomb standing right in front of you with intricate ruins on it. And in the middle, there are 2 holders who are holding a live heart that is thumping.
2 holders?
Like 2, you know, I don't know, like 2 grips. I don't know what's the description for it.
Sure.
Like if you were to like pin something in between sticks.
Yeah. You said 2 holders, and I think you broke up a little bit, and I was like, did you just say 2 beholders? Because I quit.
No, 2 2 holders on both sides.
Yeah.
And they are holding a live heart.
I feel like I want to grab it, but that sounds disgusting. I turn around and look back to Null. He's still standing there.
He's laying there. Would be quite a different situation if it was a standing corpse.
Oh, God.
No, he's still laying there.
I sort of gently try to reach out to the heart. Like I don't want to I don't want to break it, but I want to make sure it's real, I guess. So I try to, I think maybe poke it.
Okay, so as your finger touches the flesh on the heart, it stops for a second, stops beating, and all of a sudden it starts to glow black and red from the inside, and it starts thumping again, but faster this time, almost as if the heart had an adrenaline rush. And from every orifice there is just pouring blood, and the blood is pouring all over the pedestal into the runes that have been carved into pretty much the entire tablet. All of a sudden, certain runes start to light up, and words become visible for you. Words that I will show you in a handout.
Mine Bakt Unkar Armera Sanser Hiwo. Do I recognize the language?
No.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Holy crap. No, I don't really know what to do here, man. I feel like feel like I need you to give me a sign or something.
The heart just keeps pounding in front of you. As the words now slowly start to illuminate your face from the radiance that comes of it.
I turn out of the tomb and head back towards Null, and I want to try to see if I can like bring him closer to it and see if it reacts.
Out of here!
Okay, it's better.
Okay. So as you run over to his body and you start dragging him towards the mausoleum, nothing apparent seems to be happening.
I try to bring his body like sort of inside the mausoleum, so it's like right with me. Okay. I really wish I knew more languages. I just sort of like look down at him on the floor and like look up at the heart and just kind of start like muttering under my breath. I'm just swearing in Infernal. Just all the cuss words.
You can yell him. It's fine.
Oh no, I think I'm a little too stressed to be screaming. And I just grab the heart and I try to put it inside Null's body.
Okay, as you grab the heart, all of a sudden you feel as if your flesh links to it. It doesn't come out of place. However, the words underneath you on a tablet starts to brighten up even further, almost as if they're resonating to you right now. And blood starts to gush over your hands. You're filling your hands. Your finger starts to arm. There's a drip just coming out of your elbow as you're holding it, and it just pours down the underside of your arm, and it's starting to fill the floor slowly.
Oh shit. I like make sure the door doesn't close because for some reason I now feel like I'm about to drown in a bunch of blood. So the heart doesn't move, it just is leaking.
Neither do your hands. Your hands are now tied to the heart.
Okay, I start cussing louder.
It resonates inside the mausoleum, making it ever so more apparent that you are not agreeing to this situation.
Oh. I mean, I guess I just stand there. Because I can't do anything else.
There are still glowing words right in front of you.
Mein Bacht Unka Ar Mira Sansar Hi Woe.
As you say those words, a gust of wind fills the mausoleum, and what you thought to be the body of your friend now turns to complete ash, and the heart turns into part of a broken sigil right in front of your hands, as the lid of the coffin that you're standing in front of comes loose with a faint click, and the blood dries up into sand.
Okay. So it's part of a sigil?
Mm-hmm. You reckon it's probably half of some circular sigil.
Do I recognize any part of it, like as a house sigil or anything?
No, not a house sigil. But you can make me a religion check.
Okay. Okay. 20. It's a natural 19.
You don't know the exact origin or resemblance of this sigil, but you do faintly remember seeing it somewhere in your youth in a story about demons.
Are my hands still attached to it?
You're
Or am
holding
I-
it, but you're free to
But I'm free to
let
move
go.
now.
Yes.
Do I feel anything from it?
No, it's just
Just regular.
part of a stone slab.
Okay. So I don't feel like any energy or anything weird.
No.
Okay. But it can fit in the palm of my hand.
Yes.
Okay.
It's roughly the size of a plate, but like half of it.
Does it look like it fits in anywhere on like the coffin in front of me?
Maybe a perception check.
That is persuasion. 5.
However, the fact that you do believe that its purpose is to be slid into something, you don't see anything apparent around you right now.
Okay. So you said I like something from a story in my youth, kind of, sort of prickles my recollection.
Yes.
Kind of.
It has something to do with demons.
Okay, so something like I would have been told from like Charles, like as like a bedtime story. I don't.
More something that other children would have scolded you with due to your appearance.
Okay. And I don't see anything it can click into right now.
No, the only thing that clicked was the lid of the
Right.
stone coffin.
Okay. Well, I guess I will set the sigil down for a second.
Okay.
And then I guess try to see what's inside the coffin.
Okay, so as you start pushing against the lid, it just all of a sudden disappears. And in the floor, there is a stairwell going down to a pretty expensive wooden door. Like, expensive wood was used to make this door.
Right.
It has intricate woodworking on it. It has very nicely smithed locks, doorknobs, etc.
It's in the floor.
It's like if you have the coffin, the stairwell goes down into the coffin and it reaches that door.
Okay, so I take the broken sigil again,
Mm-hmm.
and I go down to the door to see if it's open.
Yes, it's open. It doesn't even have a lock.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said it had a fancy lock. Okay.
Yeah, but like the plate.
Yeah.
Like if you have the handle, there's a plate
Yeah.
around it. That's pretty fancy. I don't know the word.
I know what you mean. Okay, so I sort of slowly open the door and kind of peek inside.
Okay. So as you're opening the door, even ever so slightly, all of a sudden you find yourself in a children's bedroom. Maybe an insight check.
15.
For some reason, you get this weird sensation that this would have been your children's room if your mother would have kept you. And all of a sudden, in the corner of your eye, behind the bed that's standing right there, you see a figure on her knees crying, which faintly resembles the woman you think might be your biological mother.
Well, the fuck is she crying? I just feel, I guess, sort of like a iciness. I don't know how much I care that she's crying.
But what do you do?
I guess I try to look around the room and see if anything else catches my interest while I try to ignore the woman. I mean, do I get the sense if she can see me?
She's with her back turned to you.
Okay.
And hasn't noticed you for now.
So it looks like a nursery, kind of?
More a toddler's room. There are some toys. There's a slightly bigger bed.
Is there a child in the room?
No.
No child.
There are, however, several hints that it could have been your bedroom if your mother would have kept you. There's stuff there with your name on it. There's a toy chest. There are a couple of stuffed animals that you remember from your childhood, but for some reason they're in this room and look way better. There's clothes that you've worn as a child in that age that are now hanging in the cupboard, which is open. All kinds of hints and items around the room just give you the strong sensation that this could have been.
I cross to the closet, I guess, and take a closer look at some of the clothes.
What do you search for?
Well, like you said, it's stuff that I wore when I was a baby, so I guess I'm checking to see, like, is it like exactly the same, or is it like cleaner and like nicer?
It is exactly the same, but in a better condition.
Right. I go over to something that has my name on it.
Okay. There's a toy chest that has your name written on it in bright red letters.
I look inside the toy chest.
Okay. As you open it, you can make me a will save.
Oh.
As this creature, and I'm trying to find the handout. Did you get it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As this creature jumps out of the toy chest.
Oh, shit. What save am I making?
Will.
What's that?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. That's what I thought, but I was like, will?
Yeah.
That's okay. 6.
Okay. That will be super later on. Okay, so as this creature jumps out, you are obviously taken off guard. And as you turn around and prepare for a fight, you notice that both it and your probably biological mother are gone, and the entire room is empty.
But it's the same room?
Yes.
What? I'd probably spin around the room a couple times.
Make me a perception check.
17.
As you start spinning around the room and looking at what is happening around you, you notice that the headboard of the bed, on top of it, like in the woodworking, the top bit of it is half a circle with the other half of a sigil.
Oh. I I walk over to it and try to fit in the half that I'm holding.
Together, they form this.
Oh. I just kind of stare at it for a minute, and then I reach up and touch it.
It feels as exactly the same material as the one that you're.
Does it still remind me of the same thing I thought it was before?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was like more now.
No. It's just a complete sigil.
It's just complete now. Okay. I think my most pressing question in my head right now would probably be, why would this be in this bedroom?
It's a fair question.
Does the other half of the sigil that was already there, can that be removed as well, or is it just in there permanently?
It can be removed. You can just pretty much lift it off the bed. You immediately know that it didn't even belong. Like what you're holding is stone. The bed is made of wood.
But the other part of the sigil is stone.
Both of the sigil parts
yeah. All right, I try to take the whole thing out.
You can easily pick it up.
Okay, I take it. And then I start looking around the room again.
Okay. As you start turning around, change. The world almost seems to mix. And as you make your turn complete, you're all of a sudden in a library. And roughly 10 feet away from you, you see Isabella, Arnold, and Grace. All three of them together, almost as shadows, with Arnold holding a large book in front of him.
Arnold?
Read the book, Phoenix.
I see the book, but I go for Arnold and I try to hug him or embrace him or just make him stay.
He doesn't really respond to anything. His eyes, all of their eyes, seem pretty lifeless. Their bodies are there, but that's about it. And he just whispers in your ear, "You have the key. Read the book, Phoenix."
I look at Izzy, and then to Arnold, and then Grace, and then finally down at the book.
The book is a very large leather-bound tome, which has a insert for where you can resume your sigil. So as you look at their faces and you look down at the book, you see that it is a large leather-bound tome with a large round insert where you reckon you can place your sigil. Above the insert, there is, almost in a rainbow, there are letters in gold and fiery red, reading "Brimstone Angels."
Can I open the book?
Not yet.
So the book won't open. I I try to put this sigil in it.
Okay. As you put it in, all of a sudden the sigil forms as a whole, burns itself into the book. The book slides open. It's a large tome with a thumping sound, and all the pages go start whispering, all just start flapping over to a certain page. All of a sudden, it just lies restless on 2 pages who are completely blank. From the seam of the book, the exact middle of the book, you see fingers coming out of the book, and a pale hand starts to form with scars that resemble the scars that you hold. It almost seems as if the hand is extremely burned, but not through burn marks, but it is as if it's flammable in some way. And it holds its hand out to you, almost asking you to grab it.
So it has scars like the ones I have on my arm.
Yes.
I reach out for it.
Okay. As you grab it, all of a sudden, in the back of your mind, you hear a voice. Ma'am, would you like another? And as you shake it off, you all of a sudden realize that you're sleeping on a table in the yawning portal. And that's where we'll start our adventure.
Oh, shit. What? Okay.
See how it was completely different than the other guys?
Yeah, I was like, the whole time I was like, is this fucking happening? Because I spend a lot of time in the City of the Dead, so I was like, I don't know, maybe this is real. Fucking no.
Thank you for watching Half Dice Will Travel. We'll see you next time.